The pre-TGS trailer that was showcased yesterday is quite possibly my favourite Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer so far. There was just so much to digest even after multiple watchings, and it's somehow risen my years of anticipation to even further soaring heights. I just want this game already. The world of Big Hero 6 or San Fransokyo looks incredible. The gameplay is beautifully dynamic and over the top, and the story manages to cleverly exude many crucial story details that by some means gives away more questions than answers, which is exactly what I'm interested in talking about today. Hello and welcome to a new video. I'm Vanguard, and today I'll be going through my Kingdom Hearts 3 Big Hero 6 story analysis and discussion, but without further ado, let's get right into it. The trailer begins with what is presumably the opening cutscene, which was stated in an interview by Nomura a while back between young Xehanort and Ericus. The chess scene continues with a silver crown piece in the middle, what we are led to believe represents Sora, surrounded by gold and black pieces with unique symbols indicating the Seekers of Darkness. As they play, Xehanort narrates that darkness prevails, just like in the prophecy the two were conversing about in previous trailers. However, Ericus, despite his situation, seems quite calm with himself and makes his unseen next move. I believe this will be the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, at least the beginning part of the conclusion, because this scene has been emphasized multiple times as a symbolic message to the players. The Seekers of Darkness will probably have the upper hand with the wisdom of Master Xehanort on their side, and all the lives of the light will rest on Sora's shoulders. I have a feeling that Xehanort will actually achieve his goal in the conclusion, whatever it is, before he meets his demise, causing possible permanent changes to the world, which will come at a great cost to the main cast if they want to stop him and achieve victory in the bitter end. I doubt we'll get to see how the chess scene concludes before the game's ending, or that it will remain nebulous instead, because it will be pivotal to the true finale result, which I'm sure the writers would want to keep a mystery until the story finishes. Big Hero 6 makes its appearance where Sora, Donald and Goofy, who call themselves Keyblade Heroes 3, are accompanied with the Big Hero 6 team to assist them in a fight against the large Heartless. You get to fight along Baymax as a party member, utilize him as a vehicle of combat, and play it in a 3D rail shooter-like setting, kinda like the Gummy Ship segments. There are more wonderful sequences of the gameplay exploring the setting, showcasing mini-games of time trials, Keyblade transformations, and etc. In the next scene we see Hero, the protagonist of the world, reminisce about his fallen brother on the bridge of San Fransokyo as he, Gogo, Baymax and Sora eat chocolate ice cream bars. Hero talks about his connections, which leads Sora himself to reflect. Suddenly, while lost in thought, Hana, Pence and Olette replace the Big Hero 6 cast in vision, holding sea salt ice creams instead, and Sora's appearance switches to Roxas, another emotional hint and reminder to Sora of Roxas's wish and memories to be his own free person. In the Realm of Darkness, both Mickey and Riku talk about Riku's evolution in facing against the darkness in any situated place, Realm of Darkness or not, further highlighting his immunity and finality in his character arc that was set up from the very first game. Since he is one of the main characters, I do believe if they don't introduce a new personal struggle in this game that he has to deal with, we could see some heavy sacrifices made by Riku in the form of his life to enhance the intensity, as it seems like his own character arc is honestly about to be wrapped up. On the Gummy Ship we see Sora use his mobile portal, expecting a call from Riku, but is instead from Ienzo. This is a nice reference to the device in the storyline outside of the minigames, and might suggest we'll have a few character interactions between our main cast when they are separated. We see a short scene of Rapunzel, Flynn and the gang wander through a forest but is tricked into a heartless ambush. In the Caribbean, we get our first glimpse of Davy Jones in the rain, faced against Jack Sparrow, and they both look amazing, which is something I never thought I'd ever say. The setting is seemingly on a ship during their final confrontation in a whirlpool, the conclusion of At World's End. A frozen cutscene plays between Sora and Anna, where the plot of saving Elsa is further highlighted. It'll be interesting to see if the Princesses of Heart will all be captured to summon Kingdom Hearts. On Destiny Island, Sora picks up the Master's Defender, finally setting in stone the confirmation that this particular moment will be canon in the story, first displayed in the 2013 announcement trailer of Kingdom Hearts 3. It seems that Aqua, for unknown reasons, manages to send her Master's Blade to Destiny Island, possibly in the same fashion that connected Sora and Kairi at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 for him to return. This might be a guide to Sora, as Goofy said, and lead him to possibly finding Ventus, or more likely Terra and or Aqua, due to the student's strong connection with their teacher. The reason I say Terra is both his enduring connection to Ericus, as well as Namine's conversation with the Lingering Will in the First Breath concert, where everyone is apparently looking for him. The Keyblade might also lead back to Aqua, since we see she grabs hold of Sora's hand in 2 instances now, bringing her back to the light. Ventus on the other hand still holds a chance of being rescued as well, as Sora is shown to be in a dive to the heart sequence towards the last few moments of the trailer. It is difficult to place my finger on the correct guess among these three, but the blade might navigate Sora to all three of them by the end of the game. The blade itself might be able to bring all the students back to the light as Ericus's last lingering wish. Luxord references a chest on a distant ship, though I have no clue what he's talking about. The only assumption I can make is perhaps the black box. I'm not sure why he'd be after Davy Jones' heart if they were referring to the chest in the movie, but might be some sort of clue to them. In what seems to be the climax of Arendelle with Kristoff and Sven for some reason frozen in the background, Luxine affirms to Sora that the Organization 13, Seeker of Darkness, have found their final member. Twilight Town has our cast awaiting to enter the old mansion of the digital world to somehow revive Roxas. It is intriguing that Hana, Pence and Olette are joining them in this endeavour, as they must be wondering about the photo in which they don't remember being taken. However, there might be some deeper connection that drove them to join Sora beyond memories. I think they could be essential in bringing back Roxas, but it's unclear how at this point. It'd be cool to see if the old copied version of the three in the digital world will meet with the real ones. Ansem and Zigbar are seen conversing on top of a building somewhere, discussing about a particular male vessel who has the potential of going astray according to Ansem's threat. To me, this is one of the most important scenes. A high-angle shot is presented of the characters casually communing as this is stated, seemingly signifying Sora. It's a low possibility as he is the protagonist, but they might be implying Roxas, as they do know he will soon return, and the idea of a vessel breaking out of the Seeker of Darkness control is rather curious, as it could give way to rescuing people like Aqua breaking her free, who is likely currently a vessel herself, or even more interestingly, a betrayal in the organization at the very last minute creating a vital path for the Guardians of Light victory. Demyx and Vexen are seen exchanging details, with the latter possessing golden eyes, likely proving that they are both additional Seekers of Darkness. I assume they are talking about Roxas turning into a Seeker of Darkness, or whoever Ansem was previously talking about. What is surely Dada Riku in the Big Hero 6 world, who many believe to be Shion at first from the vague showings of his hair in the last trailer, makes his return. The reason I point to the Dada version is that the replica was already revealed to have blue eyes, and the Big Hero 6 world has presented many references of bug blocks in enemy attacks, heavily suggesting that this Riku is from Jiminy's journal. I'm not exactly sure how happy I am with this, as there's literally 3 of the same people in this game, along with Roxas, Ven and 13 Xehanauts, but hopefully will turn out to be entertaining, as it does call back to the rivalry between Sora and Riku in Kingdom Hearts 1, as well as recoded, with Dada Riku serving as the probable main boss or source of trouble in Big Hero 6. Vanitas and Ventus are shown to be in the Land of Departure or Castle Oblivion, but I lean towards the former. I believe it is through Aqua giving into the darkness that allowed the Seekers to find Ven and unlock Castle Oblivion to its original form. But upon doing so and seeing Ven for the first time in over 10 years, she might have broken out of Xehanauts' possession, which Ansem did hint was possible, so this might have suggested that she was a temporary vessel simply to get Ventus, since her strong will would have inevitably freed her. We do see later Vanitas seconds away from impaling Aqua, but she looks to be in her normal form. This might be in fact the procedure of creating a vessel. The scene calls back to the final showdown in the Keyblade War of Birth by Sleep. I've heard some say that this could be the same method of splitting Ven and Vanitas' heart, which might be what is happening to Aqua. However, while there are some physical similarities, there are differences such as still retaining her original memories. A ray of light shines in the background, as this might temporarily awaken Ventus, or his mind and will to fend off Vanitas, or a call for Sora, which is supported by the dive to the heart sequence found later, leading into the rescue of both Ven and Aqua, both heavily set up plot points. However, this would have to take place after the Monster Inc. world, since it was in Monster Inc. that Sora first met Vanitas. However, it's hard to say if this is before or after she turns evil. If it was before, it makes a little bit more sense in some respects, as she would need the Master's Defender to unlock the world, I would presume. But we do see later her engaging in hand-to-hand combat against Ansem's Seeker of Darkness without a Keyblade, and what I'm guessing is to retrieve her to find Ventus. You might not end up needing the Keyblade, just the wielder and knowledge. All this confrontation might be Ansem offering the opportunity to go to Ventus and tricks her into unlocking the world for their own sake. Afterwards, upon completion, they might turn her into a Xehanort. Keep in mind that her sending the Master's Defender to Destiny Island should ideally happen before she turns and after Castle Oblivion unlocks, unless they decide to explain it by the wielder being unfit to use the blade upon turning evil, automatically sending it to the destination of her true desires. Kind of like how Ventus and Terra's Keyblade appeared to aid Aqua shortly in the Realm of Darkness. It's a mystery whether or not Ventus will be a vessel, or simply allow Vanitas to become complete in a more powerful superior form. However, since his heart remains in Sora, this might be preventing the Seekers of Darkness from using him in any way, shape or form, which is why Vanitas is going after Sora. The timeline of her presence in Castle Oblivion, her weaponless scuffle between Ansem, giving into the darkness, and the Master's Defender arriving on Destiny Island is a complicated matter that I can't bring myself to fully understand as of yet. Maybe someone watching can put the pieces together for me. In the realm of darkness, we get the continuation of Aqua's despair, hammering down her thirst of destruction and misery towards Riku and Miki. Her design is completely different now, black hands with red fingers at the tip, tattered and darker clothing, yellow eyes, whiter hair, and etc. She appears to have all the memories of her original self. I think it's safe to say that she will be rescued, as Nomura did hint many times that it would be up to the players to save her, and not all hope is lost. And during her First Breath concert, Namine told the Lingering Will that when the time comes, he will have to be the one to save her. The first glimpses of the final Keyblade War is shown, reminiscent to the Gathering and the Birth by Sleep secret movie, where Xehanort for the very first time appears in the New Kingdom shader. Aqua is seen fighting Ansem's Seeker of Darkness without a Keyblade. Demyx and Ienzo are seen in Hollow Bastion at Ansem's computer, and they take great care not to show Demyx's eyes in these trailers for some reason. If he isn't in fact a Seeker of Darkness, he might actually be working alongside Ienzo and Sora to retrieve Roxas, working as a double agent, as we can assume that the Organization 13 are after Roxas. And Demyx is seen holding a body wrapped in material, identical to the one that accompanies Ventus in Birth by Sleep. However, if he is indeed a vessel himself, he might be there to silence Ienzo from aiding Sora to get Roxas back, or retrieve Ienzo as a vessel. Next we see what is either Locksword or Ansem the Wise. I lean to the latter due to the slight differences of facial hair, holding a sleeping Ienzo by the shoulder. I don't think we've ever seen these two interact outside of Birth by Sleep when Ienzo was little, so this is possibly either a happy reunion or an unexpected twisted one. If Ansem the Wise is on Xehanort's side, which I think he is, I don't think he'll be an organization member, since he doesn't really have the combat abilities, but rather a tool for them to use in research. And he might just be the reason that led to Aqua's downfall in the moment of most vulnerability. Isa and Axel meet at the Twilight Tower clock tower, and I truly wonder how their stories will be resolved, as the relationship was already disjointed in the original organization. I hope all of this is explored to at least some degree, and I wonder what this visit has in store. Terra Xehanort is unveiled to return, either as a flashback or in current day. Another possibility of who Ansem and Xigbar were talking about, since Terra does have the Heart of Three, Ericus, Xehanort and himself, as well as some resistance to darkness. If he is a vessel, it makes sense due to the downfall of both Ansem and Xemnas by the hands of Sora, respawning his complete form. He could also work as a double agent. But the true form of Terra could return as the Lingering Will, as alluded to the voice actor performance of the First Breath concert. Next are three scenes I've already gone through, followed by a sunset on Destiny Island with Kairi and Sora, a beautifully shot moment evoking enduring emotion as a longtime fan. You could take this romantically or as a moment of companionship, but I think this is a sign of the series reacquainting itself of the thematic relationship of the two found in Kingdom Hearts 1 and finally bringing it full circle. I really do believe they've set something majorly significant for Kairi to do in the storyline at last. Lee is shown crying very quickly, compelling me to think of two potential characters of concern. The first is Roxas, as he does follow this scene afterwards. The reasons are obvious. The two are the closest friends in the narrative, and Lee has been through hell trying to revive his fallen comrade. In the end, he just had to move on. The expression Lee wears is almost of great shock, potentially meaning that Roxas is an organization member, for reasons already discussed. But even if he weren't one, the same expression I imagine would apply regardless. However, the character I initially thought of was Shion. In the Orchestra World Tour, Kairi's Japanese voice actress performed her lines directed to Sora, and she reveals Lee's very close reach in remembering Shion through Kairi in multiple scenarios. I think Lee's facial expression induces the same emotions of hitting an epiphany or recollection of something important, at last able to remember Shion's forgotten existence, seemingly taking place in the training ground of Kairi and Lee. Roxas is finally showcased at long last, in his organization cloak both Oathkeeper and Oblivion in hand. Since he appears to be dual-wielding, he might still hold Ventus's heart, implying Ven has yet to be reawakened. The lack of eye contact and wearing of the cloak is slightly alarming, as the answers of which side he is on is a mystery, and I do hope they keep it that way until the release, as painful as it may be waiting. If you recall in Dream Drop Distance, he was originally meant to be a vessel after Riku. He will be a huge part of Sora's story, with visions of his memories occasionally blending in with the environment, nostalgic to Roxas' life at the beginning of KH2. For all of that to break apart in the end would be of great tragedy, especially for Sora and Lee. And that about wraps up my thoughts, analysis and discussion of the storyline in the recent Kingdom Hearts 3 pre-TGS Big Hero 6 trailer. I hope you all enjoyed and invite you to join the discussion in the comment section down below. There's a lot for just one video and for one person to discuss, and each plot point sincerely deserves a video of its own. I've had a lot of fun talking about all of this. I'm also working very hard on a Kingdom Hearts 1 retrospective critique, which should be coming in about 10 days or so. It's my proudest work so far and I hope you stick around to see it. Anyways, till next time, I'll see you later.